All right. So you can get started however you would like. I will give you a heads up. When we start to move, we'll start standing, but you don't have to start standing now. You can sit down, lay down, do whatever you'd like to do, and just take a moment here, find a little bit of stillness, and see if you can tune in to any movements happening in your body already. Think of like breath. Or maybe there's other movements. Maybe you're feeling like wiggling your fingers or just moving really slow ways, but just kind of notice like what's happening in your body, what movements are already there. And how does your body feel? Does it feel like when you inhale? Sometimes I can feel like a bit stuck on the top of my inhale. Does it feel like you can breathe in deeply and freely? Maybe you're feeling like tense or sore or stiff. You don't even have to put a label on it. You just be like, okay, my legs feel weird. Cool. Sort of noticing like what's going on. How are you feeling? And how does that sort of rhythm of your breath affect any feelings? You might even dig in a little bit to how you feel mentally and emotionally. So we were just talking before I started recording about or I mentioned how sometimes to me, this type of practice can feel vulnerable. It's like power flow practice. And I want to encourage you to the best as you can, if that phrase makes sense, the best you can to have fun with it and really take this approach that you're taking right now of like a curiosity, what's going on in your body, how do you feel, what do you need, and really feel free and welcome to change the postures, the movements, however you'd like. You can take out postures, you can add in postures, you can rest the whole time. I don't mean to say just rest, it's just as valid of a practice. You can lay down the entire time and that's all good. You can do your own little dance party, kind of break off into your own thing, all good. Sharing space where we're checking in with our bodies, do what we need to do. And I'm here to support you in that. If you have any questions, you can put a little chat or send me an email if you're doing the recording. And let me know if there's anything else I can do to support. But take a moment, take a couple breaths. See if you can really allow a little more space as you breathe in. And might think of kind of letting go as you breathe out, if that resonates with you. Maybe it's like letting go of, sometimes I would get stuck in my head with this kind of practice, or stuck in like, am I doing this right? See if you can let that go. There's no right, there's no wrong. As long as it doesn't hurt your body, it's all good. Begin to add a little bit of movement. It could be like wiggling, it could be rolling your wrist, it could be literally anything. And then anytime in the next like 5-10 breaths, you can make your way to stand. I'm going to do my best to demo this as I'm teaching it. I have only done that one time and it was outside where it was easier to see both sides. So it might take me a little bit of time to get used to doing it virtually where you can only really see one angle. If you have questions though, let me know. So when you are coming up to stand, you might stand sort of closer to the top of your mat so that you have space behind you. Bring your hands to your heart. Notice if you're locking your knees, see if you can think of slightly softening them, not like a big bend, but so that they're sort of a little soft. Hands to your heart. Take a moment here. You might set an intention, and maybe it's the stuff we were just talking about, sort of getting out of your head and into your body and really noticing how you feel, maybe really listening to your body, or maybe it's like to have or to wake up. Whatever works for you. Take a full breath in your nose and a slow breath out. Inhale, circle both arms overhead. Might look up, might add a tiny back bend. Exhale, hinge at your hips, fold forwards, bit of a bend in your knees. Lift halfway, inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, tap your fingers down, step your left foot back, lower your left knee down. Lift your right arm up so that you're twisting in your lunge. You might instead decide you want to come up to your low lunge here, have your hands on your knee, maybe you do a little twist this way. Full breath in your nose. Exhale, plant your hands, tuck your left toes, step back to plank. Lower both knees down, lower all the way to belly, breathe out. Peel your chest up, inhale, baby cobra. Press back through your knees, downward facing dog. Might do a little bit of wiggling around, shaking out your head. Maybe taking a couple breaths. If it's okay to do in your space, you might sigh if it's not with someone sleeping super close to you or anything. Sometimes it's nice to flutter your lips. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, step your left foot forwards. Lower your right knee down. Gonna do that same twist you can choose. You might stay with your right hand on the floor, maybe lift your left hand to left knee or up, or you might kind of come up a little bit and do your twist this way. Full breath in. Slow breath out. Stay for your inhale. Exhale, plant both of your hands, tuck your right toes, lift your right knee, rock your weight back this time, step forwards. Lift halfway up, inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, round your spine. Circle both arms overhead, inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forwards. We're gonna do the same thing we just did in the opposite way. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, tap your fingers down, step your right foot back, lower your right knee down. Add in the little twist, left hand to left knee, taking your own variation. Full inhale here. Exhale, plant your left hand, move your left knee back, lower down to the floor, exhale. From there, you might take a baby cobra, inhale, peel your chest up. Exhale, press back through your knees, downward dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, step your right foot forwards. Lower your left knee down. Lift your right arm, finding a twist, whichever ones you like. Full breath in. Exhale, plant your hands, tuck your left toes, lift your left knee, rock your weight back, step your left foot forward, sorry. Lift halfway up, breathe in. And round your spine, breathe out. Circle both arms overhead, breathe in. Hands to your heart, breathe out. Full inhale. Slow exhale, might do a check-in. How do you feel? We've done a little warm up. Maybe you're starting to literally feel warmer. I know that I am. Inhale, circle both arms overhead. Exhale, hinge at your hips, fold forwards. Lift halfway, inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank. You might lower your knees, you might not. Lower all the way to belly one more time. Baby cobra, peel your chest up. Press back through your knees, downward facing dog. So you might know, probably do know already, that there's tons of variations of flows. You can take that one, the baby cobra variation, if you'd like, the whole time. You can also skip them. If you don't feel like doing those, you can take down dog or child's pose at any point. And there's another one that we'll go through together. I'll talk you through it. If you feel like doing it with me, go for it. If not, you can stay where you are. From down dog, inhale, high plank, top of a push-up. As you exhale, lower halfway or less, or any amount. Upward dog, your hands and your feet are down. Inhale, lift your chest up. Nice. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Those are just two of the variations. There's tons and tons and tons. So do what you need to do or what you would like to do. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, bring your left knee towards your left wrist. Kick your leg up as you inhale. This time towards your right side, exhale, right wrist, right elbow, whatever works. Inhale, kick your leg up. Exhale, step your left foot forwards. So we're gonna pause in a lunge here. So this time your right knee is lifted, right hand down on the floor. Inhale, lift your left arm up. Think of pressing your right leg up and drawing your left hip back a little bit. Full breath in. Exhale, left hand down. And then you're gonna step your right foot forwards a bit. So we're moving into warrior one. Right toe is pointing to the top right corner of your mat. Inhale, lift your arms up, warrior one. So arms are reaching up. Might add a little back bend if you'd like. You got it. You might add a little space left to right between your feet. Full breath in. As you exhale, begin to lean forwards so that if you were to literally spend time lining it up, your like rib cage is moving to the inside of your left leg. You might then like have your hands down on the floor, or you might have your hands on your hips. We're just pausing here for a moment. So full breath in and then full breath out. Nice. Inhale, circle both arms overhead. Exhale, warrior two, and I'm just going to switch so that I can face you. All right, so I'm going to walk you through a little bit of a movement that I'm going to be honest is confusing for me to explain, because when I took it, the person used the movement reference to rainbow your body and it didn't make sense to me. So I'm going to try a different approach. I don't know if you've seen Black Widow or any other superhero movie. If not, you might think like superhero stance or someone else said speed skating. I'm going to tell you why in a second. So from warrior two, inhale, exalted warrior. So reach your left arm back in space. And this is where we're going to exhale, straighten your left leg, sweep your left arm down, and bend your right knee, superhero stance. So that you're in, it's called Skandasana. Yeah, I'm still getting used to how to teach this in a way that makes sense and is also kind of fluid. But when I did it, even with like a teacher who's done this a million times, I was still really confused. So it's okay if you don't get it, we'll do it a couple times. So we're gonna inhale, straighten your right leg, bend your left knee into warrior two stance, and then sweep your left arm back. So it's almost like you're drawing a pretty big circle or almost a circle with your left hand. Exhale, sweep your left arm back, straighten your left leg, and then move back into your right leg. Might pop your left toes up, might keep them down, whatever works for you. Nice. Inhale, straighten your right leg, bend your left knee, sweep your left arm back. And then exhale, warrior two. Nice, take a moment. Breathe in, sweep both arms overhead. So we're gonna switch to face the front of your mat. So you're coming up on your right toes. Inhale. Exhale, bring your hands down to the floor and start to lift your right leg up. You might like rock it back and lift. You might decide to slowly lift your leg up. You might decide, I don't wanna lift my leg. I'm gonna keep it on the floor. Full breath in. Think of using your glutes to lift your left or right leg up. Exhale, step your right foot wide. We're gonna move into Malasana. So separate your feet about mat width. Toes point out-ish. And then bend your knees. You might grab, I don't have anything near me, might grab like a pillow or a couple blocks or like a footstool. I don't know if anyone still owns footstools, but you might sit on something else instead. Think of using your glutes to press your knees away from center line. Might have your hands at your heart. You might do a little movement here. You might kind of do a little twist to the right, kind of drop your right arm on your right knee. No pressure to do anything particular. Sort of using this as like a choose your own adventure moment. Noticing how you feel, what you need. Take a full breath in. A full breath out. Might also check in, are you like really in your head, really in your thoughts? Can you come back to body? Notice how you feel, notice your breath. We're gonna move your way through a flow and back to down dog. So that said, if you feel like you instead want to like come up to a forward fold, straighten your legs, point your toes forwards, hang out here for 2 breaths and then step to down dog, great option. You might step back to plank and then lower as you exhale, lowering any amount. Might lift into your back bend as you breathe in. And then down dog as you breathe out. Maybe you do a big sigh if you're able to make sound or if it feels comfortable for you. You don't have to. I say that because I find it really can like get a lot of stress out for me, but I know that's not the case with everybody. For you, it's like closing your eyes and wiggling something. All good. All right. As you inhale, lift your right leg up from down dog, I should say. Exhale, bring your right knee towards your right side. It does not have to be like touching your wrist or touching your elbow, just moving it towards. Nice. Inhale, kick your right leg up. Exhale, move your right knee towards your left side. Nice. Inhale, kick up. Exhale, step forwards. We're going to pause like this. So your right knee is bent, left knee is lifted, left hand on the floor. Do a little twist to the right. Might prop your right hand on your right knee or reach your right hand towards the ceiling. As you exhale, bring your right hand down and then step your left foot forward. So you're reaching your toes towards the side a little bit. Stance is short, kind of bend into your right knee. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. And then we're going to do that same kind of fold forwards. I'm going to sweep my arms alongside me. I like to have my hands on my back. You don't have to do that. And I'm going to lean so that when I'm doing it, my rib cage is like kind of on my knee, just based on the way my body is shaped. For you, it might be different. You might be like really on the inside. You might kind of lean, whatever works for you. Take one more inhale and one more exhale. Sweep both arms overhead. Rise to warrior 2, warrior 1, inhale. Warrior 2, exhale. Pause here for a second. Inhale, sweep your right arm back. As you exhale, you're going to go to that superhero stance. Straighten your right leg. Sweep your right arm back. Bend into left knee. Nice. I like to place my hand on the floor because otherwise I fall down. Inhale, bend into your right knee, straighten your left knee, sweep your right arm over and back. And then exhale, opposite, doing kind of a big circle, bend back into your left knee, right hand on the floor. You might also add, fancy stuff in with your left hand too, if you feel like it. Inhale, sweep your right arm forwards, bend your right knee, straighten your right leg. So exalted warrior. And exhale, warrior 2. You're gonna pivot on your back foot, reach both arms overhead, face the top of your mat, inhale. So kind of warrior 1, but now your heel is lifted. Exhale, bring your hands down, and your choice, you can do like a rocket back and spring up, or you might slowly lift your leg up. You might also have your foot hovering. Maybe you decide, okay, I'm gonna keep my left toes on the floor, but I'm still gonna think of engaging in my left glutes. Exhale, step your left foot down. You might step back into Malasana. So feet are about mat width apart, toes pointing out, and then bend into your knees here. If you feel like playing with crow, you are more than welcome to. And I'll do this with you. I mean, not that you have to do it, but I'll also let you know I can't do crow and hold it. I'm very afraid of falling, and I just can't get past that in my brain right now. So I'll show you what my crow practice looks like. Hands on the floor. My knees are going to come up to the back of my arms. My feet are closer together. From here, I just like to rock forwards so that I have some weight in my hands and then rock back. Depending on the day, I will lift one foot. I'm not going to do it on camera because these headphones I cannot afford to replace if I fall on my head. You might lift one foot and then the other foot. You might just kind of rock forwards, rock back, kind of feeling like, okay, like I feel I'm holding myself up with my hands, kind of aiming for elbows over wrists. Does not have to have any particular outcome or whatever. Just think of like playing around a little bit. If you feel like doing other sorts of like wiggling around, a little dance here, go for it. And then I'll just give you a little bit of time. If you want to take a flow or meet in down dog or take a forward fold, go for it. We'll meet in down dog-ish in about a couple breaths. I'm just going to take a bit of water, or drink a little bit of water. Somehow teaching this and talking is harder virtually than it was in the park. I guess because I'm wearing headphones, it feels warmer to me. All right. So I'm not sure if I'll have time to do my whole plan, but that's okay. I'd rather over plan than under. Hopefully you get what I meant by the superhero thing. I fully like just made that up. That's not what that pose is called. That's just from my own brain trying to figure out the best way of describing the posture or the shape. Just reminded me of I don't know if you've seen a Black Widow, right? Like the scene where she like lands like that in every single movie. Anyway, that's not what the class is about. All right, just double checking my notes. I like never usually check my notes when I'm teaching, but just double checking for this one. As you inhale, lift your left leg up if you're in down dog. Exhale, bring your left knee towards your left side. Kick your leg up, inhale. Exhale, step your left foot forwards. We're gonna step right into warrior one this time. So step your right foot forwards a little bit, point your toes to the sides, and then inhale, sweep your arms up. We're gonna pause here for a second, give you a little bit of a chance to do a back bend if you feel like it. So you might lift your chest up, might kind of bring your hands behind you. And then as you exhale, we're gonna move into the humble warrior. So start to bow forwards just to the inside of your left foot, left knee. My hands, I'm gonna keep them on my back for right now. Think of drawing your left hip back, right hip forwards. You can bring your arms anywhere else if you like. Inhale, reach your arms out like a T shape. And then exhale, hold opposite shoulders, right arm underneath your left. We can move into that in a little bit more detail in a second. Inhale, come up to warrior one. So I'll just show you head on. My right arm is underneath my left. You can also take this kind of intertwined variation if you like. All right, lean over your left foot a little bit. Begin to lift your right foot up. So you're in a balancing posture. As you inhale, hold on a sec, sorry. Inhale, lift your right knee in front of you. I'm just undoing my arm so I could not fall over. Exhale, right leg over top of left. I'll turn to face you. Although I think mine's a mirror, so I apologize if I'm getting your lights and less mixed up. Okay, so we're gonna do that in reverse, kind of. Inhale, lift your right leg up. You might take a second, step your foot down and give your left leg a little shake. And then no rush, sweep your right leg back. So back into the balancing posture, reach out of your right heel or toes, and then unravel your arms, bring your hands down to the floor. So you're in standing splits. Inhale, think of lifting your right leg up. And then exhale, bend your left knee and tap your right foot to the outside. Hopefully you can see that. I'll try, I don't know if I can hold myself up that way, but inhale, standing splits. So lift your right leg up. As you exhale, bend your left knee. You're kind of moving your right knee to the outside of your left leg. Inhale, lift your right leg up. I'm going to do a little pivot. Exhale, step to kind of warrior one, but this time keep both legs straight. So giving your left hamstring, the muscles in the back of your leg, a bit of a stretch. Kind of draw your left hip back, right hip forwards. You might stay here if you like. You might add in a little bit of a twist. When I do the twist in this posture, I lift up. So my right hand's actually coming above my knee. And then I do the twist this way. That doesn't mean that's what it's going to look like for you. Maybe for you, this option feels good. This one just feels better. My legs and arms are really short. My torso is really long. So it just takes a little bit of like playing around to find the angle that feels best for me. As you exhale, bring both hands down to the floor. Might step your left foot back, might go through a flow, or press back to down dog. As you inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, right knee towards your right side. Kick your right leg up, breathe in. Exhale, step your right foot forwards. Moving right into warrior one. So step your left foot forwards, toes a little to the side. Reach both arms overhead, breathe in. And then you might take a little back bend. I'm going to bring my hands behind me and I just kind of have my backs of my hands resting on my sacrum. You might like hold opposite hands or elbows or take a different variation altogether. Next, exhale, bow forwards so that your rib cage is moving to the inside of your right knee. Notice what's happening in your neck. Like I was just definitely trying to look forward still. Try and keep the back of your neck long. Breathe in. Next time, reach both arms to a T shape. I just spit all over my mat. Exhale, bring your left arm underneath right. So holding opposite shoulders or twist tying. Inhale, lift to warrior one. And then exhale, stay here for a sec. Lean over your right knee. Start to lift your left leg up depending on your mood. You might spring up. You might kind of have your left foot hovering or toes tapped. Inhale, lift your left knee in front of you. Exhale, left leg over top of right. Eagle pose. A full breath. Notice what's happening with your breath in your brain. Is your brain wandering off? Are you like putting expectations onto your poses? Can you think instead of having a little fun, sort of letting go of the pressure a little bit? Inhale, lift your left knee in line with left hip. Might step your foot down, shake out your right leg. That's an optional step like everything else. When you exhale, when you feel ready, sweep your left leg back. Might extend your arms like you can play around. Maybe they're, sorry, fell over. Maybe you're reaching your arms alongside your body, or maybe you're reaching them overhead. And then as you exhale, fold forwards. I'm going to turn to face you so I don't kick the wall. So you're in standing splits, left leg lifted, full breath in. Exhale, bend your right knee, move your left knee to the outside of your right leg. Inhale, reach up, straighten your right leg. Last time, exhale, bend your right knee, left knee to the outside of your right leg. Inhale, kick up. I'm gonna pivot again. Exhale, step to warrior one-ish. Both legs straight, so you're in triangle. Think of drawing your right hip back, left hip forwards. Might bring your focus to the muscles in the back of your right leg. Notice how you're holding your head. Can you let the muscles in your neck soften a little? Are you clenching your jaw? Can you let the muscles there do less? You feel like adding in a twist, depending on how it feels in your body, maybe you plant your left hand, lift your right arm up. You might lift up a little first and then twist to the left from there or to the right from there. When I did my first class, I did 2 sets of those single leg squats in one day and could barely make it to the to the second one the second time through. Right. Bring both, I was gonna say both, yeah, both hands down towards the floor. Make your way through a flow if you'd like. Do a little pedal out, do a little shake, do a little dance. Take a moment to yourself, notice what is going on in your body. What do you need? We have one more little power flowy chunk and then we'll do a little, we'll start to wind down. When you feel ready, there's no pressure, no rush. You can make your way to standing, however you'd like. You don't have to do it in a flowy way. You can just sort of like stand up. You could do a jump forwards, whatever you're feeling. I'm going to try and show you this head on. Might involve some pivoting, so hopefully, hopefully it makes sense. So from here, you could bring your hands on your hips or to your heart or hold on to something for balance. Bring your left knee in line with left hip-ish. Does not have to be exact. Might hold the outside of your left knee with your left hand. Move your left knee towards the left side. Another option is holding, I don't know if I can do this and talk at the same time. Holding your toes and moving your whole leg to the, I can't do both. Moving your leg to the outside. It takes too much brain work to do that, both for me this morning. All right. So depending, again, we've done a lot of stuff for legs, so depending on how you feel, you might like sit down, do like a little wiggle, do a little wiggle. Bring your knee to center. I'm going to do a little turn here and then kick back. So this move, think of it again, like a lot of the other transitions, like we're playing around. We're going to start to rotate to the side. So you might grab, I have nothing to grab. You might grab like a block and place it under your right hand for support. And then as you exhale, turn to face the side of the room. Playing around. I've fallen out of this so many times, every single time I've done it. Maybe you don't, and that's great. Maybe you do, and that's also great. Right, we're gonna step to warrior. Oh my goodness, step to warrior 2 as you exhale. Step your left foot down and exhale, hang out here. Slide your right arm forwards, right arm down, left arm up. Depending on how you feel, I'm gonna give you a couple choices. Might straighten your right leg and take triangle this way. Might hang out here. Might take a half bind, in which case I just have my left arm like across my back. And then I like to just sort of reach my arm down and sometimes hold the inside of my leg. Just sort of depends on how you're feeling. And he'll come up to warrior 2. Bring your left hand to left hip. Sorry, I have a hair in my mouth. Begin to move your left foot forwards. We're gonna come back into floating half moon. As you exhale, lift your left leg, tipping forwards, but then turn to face the ground. You might lift your right arm up. So you have your left hand down on the floor. Do a little like kind of a look to the side. And then right hand down, step your left foot beside your right. Lift halfway, full breath in. Round your spine, breath out. Circle both arms overhead. Inhale, reach up. Hands to heart. Breathe out. Bring your hands to your hips. Bring your other knee, so right knee, I believe, out in front of you. Might hold your knee with your hand. Might grab your toes. Move your right knee towards the right side or your right leg towards the right side. I would just say maybe take a moment, notice your surroundings. You don't want to kick any, kick any stuff down. Nice. Okay, I'm going to pivot again. Pivot this way. Might step your foot down, do a little dance, bring your knee forwards and kick back, toppling tree. This is our little bouncing play around thing. Might grab something for underneath your left hand. Might even be like a chair or table. And you can't see my table, but I'm going to use a table here. Open towards the side. So your leg is staying the same, left knee is still pointing in the same direction as your toes, but you're starting to sort of turn your body towards the side of the room. Might change the direction your toes are pointing, especially if you're finding any sort of pain or weird feelings happening in your knee. From here, warrior two. Step your right foot down, might adjust your stance depending on your mood. You're gonna slide your left hand forwards, tip your left hand down, right hand up, or take the straight leg variation, or take the partially bound variation. Doesn't even really have to be the same as the other side. Really not a big deal if it's different. Nice. Inhale, come to warrior two. Right hand to right hip, move your right foot closer to left. As you exhale, moving back into half moon, might find a place for your left hand. You're lifting your right leg up and then face your body towards the floor. Right hand down. Might just hover your left hand, might like hold your ankle and turn your gaze a little bit. Might make this twist a little bit bigger. Exhale, step your right foot beside your left. Lift halfway, full breath in. And then round your spine, breath out. Okay, for this, heel toe your feet farther apart to a distance that feels pretty comfortable for your forward fold. We're going to take a couple of breaths in our forward fold. Might do a little shake with your head, especially if you're feeling you're like holding your head up in any way or you're holding your breath. Think of relaxing the muscles around your jaw, your forehead, doing some of our cool down. So that said, I have one optional transition that is more active. You can choose to ignore it altogether, and you're going to sit down and lay down on your back if that's comfortable for you, if you're wanting to skip this transition. All right, so for the transition, move into a squat. So you can have your arms wherever you like, bend your knees, okay? And then you got it. So essentially coming into your lowest squat, knees pointing in the same direction as your toes. And I'm going to use the word graceful, but I mean that completely as a joke. Sit. I don't think I've ever felt graceful doing this. I'm going to start to sit. I don't think I can do it while I'm talking. Sit your bum down on the floor. Okay, I have my arm down. Can't talk and do that at the same time. For some reason, can't control those two parts of my brain at the same time. All right. So this is supposed to be one fluid motion, but I don't think it'll ever be a fluid motion for me. Feet are down on the floor, option to hold the backs of your arms or backs of your legs, or reach your arms forwards. And then as slowly as you can, roll all the way down. If you're not feeling it, you can ignore that altogether and just lay down. Nice job. Bring your right ankle to your left knee. You can stay there. You can bring your legs towards you if you'd like. You might even keep your left foot on the floor and tip this shape to the left so that your right foot is kind of down on the ground, right knee is pointing to the ceiling. I'm going to switch sides. So left ankle to right knee. Step your left foot down. Optional bridge to stretch the fronts of your legs. Push your feet down, lift your hips up. I know this is a more active posture. It's completely optional like everything else. Engage your glutes, think of lifting your hips up. In this pose, you're stretching the front of your hips, which is why I'm just adding it in here if you'd like a little bit of a stretch there. And then exhale, set your hips down. Might heel toe the bottoms of your feet to touch. Cobbler's pose. Arms can be wherever you'd like. You might even decide like, okay, there's another posture you'd rather take here. When you're ready from here, moving into your final resting pose. Maybe this is your final resting pose. Soften the muscles around your jaw and your forehead. Allow your tongue to rest on the roof of your mouth, so that the tip of your tongue is just behind the top or the back of your top teeth. And check in, where else can you do a little bit less? Allow your body to be held up by the floor, knowing that at any point you're more than welcome to change your shape. I'll give you a couple of minutes of quiet, but I will let you know, of course, when our time is up. And take a moment And with as much space as you can, offer your body and yourself gratitude for being here, for taking the time to check in with your body, for playing around a little bit, hopefully, for getting out of your head a little bit and think your body, like your muscles, your bones, how your body literally functions, that it not only moves you throughout your days, but also it helps you throughout your practice. See if you can let go of any inner critics that might be, looking into your practice right now, and know that your practice was perfect exactly the way it was. I hope that you had fun. If you have any feedback, any questions, any comments, let me know. You can either do that now if you'd rather send me a message later, all good. I'm going to stick around and hold space for those practicing live so you can stay in your practice longer if you like, but I'll end the recording here. I hope that you have a super fantastic day. Thanks for joining in.